Hi, this is Tim Yoder with Fit Small Business. Today I will be evaluating Express Accounts by NCH Software. It's an accounting software available for free for companies with less than 5 employees. We're evaluating it today for the Fit Small Business Case Study Chapter 1, which deals with the basic information. So I want to start with the screen I'm getting as soon as I try to open. So I've downloaded the software and I've installed it. Now when I open the software, I get a screen that says this free version of Express Accounts is licensed only for small business use. And then I have to click a button that certifies that I have fewer than 5 employees. And so once I click that, it is going to allow me to enter into the program. So a little word of warning. Um, so I was using the program before, and then all of a sudden it started requiring me to, it said my trial version was expired and I needed to purchase a license. Well, when I went to uninstall the program, one of the options the uninstall wizard gave me was to convert to the free version for companies with less than 5 employees. So I did that, and now I'm back to where I can enter the free version. So I believe if you use a feature perhaps that's not available in the free version, that automatically converts it to the paid version. We're going to go ahead. We'll go ahead and do the case study on this free version, and we'll address any concerns as they arise. Okay. If you read the review article we're going to have accompanying this video on our website, will talk about any difficulties we've come across during the case study in the free versus paid version of this accounting software. So let's get started. So the first thing is just to enter basic information about our company. So across the top here, it's a pretty nice layout for a screen. We've got a side menu bar, we've got a top menu bar. I think if we're going to go to options here, it would give us options for setting up our basic information. So we can, our business type, so we're going to use as our sample company a HVAC and plumbing company that we're going to call Fit HVAC and Plumbing. Okay, and we're going to both sell a product and a service. So we can put in all of our contact information. Looks like we can upload a logo, all pretty basic. Okay, let's go into our accounting tab for setting things up. We can put in a fiscal year end. Don't know why it would be on the 30th. Let's put it to the 31st. Let's see. So it looks like here are just some basic options that we have. Good. So my first impression of this software is going to be that it's a very powerful software, but that I think it's going to be a little bit difficult for us to get it set up properly. And in real life, where things aren't as straightforward as a case study, it's probably going to be even more so. But it is very customizable. You can customize the exact numbers you want all of your different types of documents to start at. I don't think I've seen that in any other free software. Okay, so down here is our chart of accounts. Of course, with accounting software, having the proper chart of accounts is always going to be very important. So let's go ahead and edit those. So the case study gives us the chart of accounts that we need. And so let's just make sure we have all the chart of accounts here that we're looking for. So we want a cash on hand account. We need a checking account. We need a savings account. And I've already entered some beginning balances, but we'll talk about how I did that. We need an accounts receivable. Very good. We need an inventory account. We need equipment, vehicles, accumulated depreciation. We need accounts payable, credit card payable, loan payable, common stock, additional paid in capital and retained earnings, and then some income and expense accounts. So how did we add accounts? Looks like there's a very easy new button here, and we can create a new account down here. We can assign it an account type. Here we can assign it to where we want it to show up in the cash flow statement. So always cash flow statements are operating, investing, financing. Those are your three main categories in a cash flow statement. This could take a little bit of accounting knowledge in order to get everything set up properly. Um, Good. Okay, so let's just let's see here. Let's make sure if a couple of things are right here. Okay. Um, so let's look at some of the detail here. So let's do checking account and edit. So we have our checking account set up as an asset account. It's a checking account. There we go. That's what I wanted to check. Make sure this is a cash postable account so we can make entries to and from it. And then here's where we can enter our opening balance. So after you create your account, you're going to have to come into the properties of the account and enter your opening balance. Okay, so that's not going to be exactly a simple way to go about entering your opening balance. Um, but if your chart of accounts isn't too huge, that won't be horrible. Okay, very good. So that's our chart of accounts. Let's continue down our options here. So we have some regional options. So here you can set your defaults for wherever you want it. United States, we want US dollars. Sales tax. We will come back here and set sales tax in a later chapter. Payments. Okay, looks like you can set some how you want to receive credit card payments. Looks like you've got a couple of different providers for credit cards. Inventory, I don't believe it has a lot of inventory functions, but we will come back later and look at that. So a lot of these we're going to evaluate in later chapters. So let's jump down here, I think, to web access. Now, Express Accounts will allow you to actually access it. So it's installed on your computer, but it will allow access from the internet. So I'm not an expert in this type of thing, so I would be uncomfortable doing this because I don't understand enough about the security of it. Having web access onto your computer. But obviously, if this is something you're comfortable with, or you have somebody that you can consult with, perhaps that's something you could do. You could set this up as desktop software and still be able to access it from the web, but we're not going to do that as part of this free program, and so we're not going to be able to add any additional users. Great. Okay. Good. So those are our main settings for setting up our company. That was all fairly straightforward. Let's see. So in our home menu here, I think the only other thing we're really looking for in Chapter 1 is we want to be able to lock the accounting software so that nobody can make any entries prior to the current year. So let's see here. Oh, here we go. So under accounts, I thought it was up here somewhere, you can put a closed to date. And so here we can say nobody can make any entries prior to December 31st, 2021. So we're closing the books for last year. This way nobody accidentally posts something to last year's books, which is important because once you file your 2021 tax return, you don't want to accidentally make changes. If you need to make a change, well, then you need to talk to your tax accountant, because if you change your books prior to 2021, you're going to have to change your tax return as well. Okay, excellent. So I think that is everything we needed to do in setting up our company. So a couple of things we weren't able to do that the case study asked us to do was we can't specify a method of accounting, so essentially it'll be accrual because it includes accounts receivable and accounts payable on your balance sheet, and so that's going to be accrual accounting. There's no way to report a balance sheet on cash accounting. So other software, QuickBooks for one, you can actually, even though you're using accounts receivable and accounts payable, you can click a button and produce cash basis financial statements. We were not able to indicate that we're an S corporation versus some other type of entity. That's really not a big deal. And the case study asked us to track income and expense by two different classes, HVAC and plumbing. Actually, three classes, HVAC, plumbing, administrative. We're not able to track anything by multiple classes. And it asked us to track items by local by location, having two locations, New York and Delaware. So we can't do that as well. So it is missing a few things that your higher end paid software would have. But it is going to be it looks like a pretty decent software so far. My first impressions anyway, for companies that only have, that don't need to track by class or location. So good. So I hope you continue on with stuff through the future chapters, but that was chapter 1 of the Fit Small Business case study for Express Accounts.